All right, here are the answers for 1 through 4. This section is very simple, but it's also very important. If you don't know what all these abbreviations we're using mean, then they're pointless. So we all have to get on the same page. Every S stands for side. Every A stands for angle. So SAS is side, angle, side. SSS is side, side, side. AAS is angle, angle, side. ASA is angle, side, angle. You are getting 8 total points tomorrow, or whenever you choose to take the quiz, just for knowing these. Okay? These are very easy. If any of you get this wrong, you should be very ashamed of yourselves.
Do people get these wrong?
Yes, people get these wrong. Any questions? All right, next section. We are just asked to tell whether the given parts are corresponding. So basically just yes they are or no they're not. So does angle T go with angle P?
No.
No. That one's kind of tricky. Make sure you're paying attention to how they're labeled. Angle S and angle N. That one's a yes. Angle segment RT and PM. That one's a yes. And SR MN, that one's definitely a no. All right, double check those. Remember, to be corresponding, they have to be in the same position and they have to be congruent. So on something like this, just check out how they're labeled. If they're labeled the same, they're congruent. Any questions? Now, this next section, there's actually 2 ways you could do it. You could go simply by this congruent statement at the top. And remember, whatever position they're in, that's what's corresponding. So like the first letters, those are corresponding. The second letters, the third letters. You could do it that way, or you can go by the way the picture is labeled. It's just a personal preference. Either way, number 9, which angle is congruent with angle X? T. Very good. And look, I even have the angle symbol there for you. Couldn't make it any easier. What's congruent with angle Y? R. Very good. And what goes with Z? S. Very good. All right, same thing with the segments. Check out in the congruence statement how X and Y are the first 2 letters. Well, you could just go with the first 2 letters on the next one and be done with it. Or you could look at the picture. The X and the Y is labeled right here with 1. Find the one labeled with the 1 on the other one. There you go. All right, next we have YZ. So again, YZ in the congruent statement, it's the last 2 letters. So you could do the last 2 letters, RS. Or you can just go by the pictures. YZ and RS are labeled the same. All right, same thing. On the last one, we have the third letter and the first letter, so you can go third letter, first letter, ST, or you can go by the pictures. If you wrote like TS instead of ST, to be honest, some geometry teachers would take off for that. I am not one of them. So if you have like RS or SR, that to me that's the same thing, so I don't mind. Any questions on this section? So remember your options here. You might want to make a list to help you study. It's actually, though, the same 4 things, 1 through 4. So you have SSS, ASA, SAS, and AAS. Or you could say none if none of them work. Okay? So 15. Just trace each triangle and see what it matches with. So we have angle, angle, side, matches with an angle, and an angle, and then a side. So this one is AAS. Next one, we have a side, angle, side, matches with a side, angle, side. So this one is SAS. Any questions on 15 or 16? I said AAS? I would never say ASS. No, I would never. How dare you?
15, we're supposed to like go from angle A to
Just like go around a circle.
If you put side, angle, angle, that would be fine. Is that what you mean if you start up here side?
I was thinking that 15 was going to be ASA.
It would be ASA if the side was in between the two angles. But see how the side's on the outside? That's why it's, see the difference? Like here the angle's in between the sides, right in between them. Here you have a side in between the angles and then the side that has congruent. So that's why it's not, the S is not in the middle. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze all these up there. 17, everyone's favorite.
Side, side, side.
Side, 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 very good. 18, again, we have a side and two angles, but the side is on the outside of the angles. So this is angle, angle, side. Number 19, you have to recognize that these overlapping sides are the same segment. So they're congruent. So then I have angle, another angle, and the side that's in the middle. So angle, side, angle. Number 20 is also angle, side, angle. You have two angles and the side that's right in between them. What are your questions so far? All right, number 21. You have to again notice that those are the same segment. It's a side from each triangle, but it's the same segment. So now we have side, side, side. No information about angles at all. And then right here we have the, again, it's like two triangles that touch each other. So that side where they touch, it's the same segment, right? So it's congruent. So then we have side, angle, side.
Well, will there be like a word bank of these on there?
Your word bank is 1 through 4. So look on the first page, 1 through 4. That's where all those letters are. All right. Now the back was giving everyone some issues, so go ahead and focus in for me. The directions say, what information do you need to know in order to use the indicated postulate or theorem to conclude that the triangles are congruent? So basically, what's missing? That's what you're answering here. So I want to use side, angle, side. So I have side. I have another side, right? And I have another angle. So right now I have A, S, S. That's not good, right? What I actually want, instead of these right angles, what I would actually want is the angle that's in between the two sides. So what angle would that be? What angles would I need to have? You might have to use 3 letters to describe these angles. So I have this side and this side. Yeah, well, sort of. We would like this angle, right? That would give me side, angle, side. And then I'd also need side. I'd need this angle. And then the side, right? So sometimes you can use just one letter to describe an angle, but you can't here. So we would need X, W, Y, angle X, W, Y to be congruent to angle Z, Y, W. So again, start by looking at what they want you to use. They want you to have side, angle, side. And then decide if you have that. We had side, side, then an angle way over here. So we didn't have it yet. If we wanted to use side, angle, side, we need the angle in between the two sides. Any questions on 23? That one's kind of tricky because they do give you an angle, it's just not the right angle. It was a right angle. Okay, now I'm getting more confusing. All right. Anyway, number 24. Now they're talking about side, side, side. So I have side, side, uh-oh. Side, side, uh-oh. So what sides would I like to have? Yeah, I need FG to be congruent to JK if I want to use side, side, side. So this side to this side is what I needed. Now, last year, for some reason, everyone was trying to be lazy and they were just labeling the diagram and acting like that was an answer. Okay? Nowhere up here does it say, just show me the diagram. Okay? You actually have to write out what you need. The diagram is just to help you get your thoughts in order so that you can tell us what's congruent. So don't try to shortcut it. You're not going to get the points. We need to actually see this needs to go with this and this needs to go with this. There are 2 of these on the quiz, just like on here. Okay? Do you have any questions on anything on this review?